Hey, welcome to Life in a Bottle, Season 2, Episode 52. I'm Cody Foster, and this, my friends, is the 2018 Hirsch Vineyard's Space Within, a custom bottling for Ancona's wines, 25 cases made, just a single barrel. 100% Pinot Noir, all from the Hirsch Vineyards. Yeah, I'm super stoked. Fortunately, I'm easily starstruck. I'm awkward around celebrity winemakers, people that I really admire and respect. And I think, fortunately, oftentimes my reaction when I'm around these people is I'll say, "Hey, would you ever consider making a wine for us?" And that's kind of what happened here. Jasmine visited Ancona's in April of 2019. We did a sweet little wine dinner with the schoolhouse. She visited the annex and we did some Life in a Bottle action over there. And she's awesome. She's an amazing person. It was such a pleasure to finally meet her and get to spend some time with her. And that's kind of when this concept was born. This is the label. You won't be able to miss it in the store. Mitch designed the label. And the concept is simple. Hopefully I can do it justice. You have a circle on the label, and there is just as much space inside the circle as there is outside the circle. And this is Mitch's, I think this is Mitch's creative commentary on sort of the human experience and how life is so personal and it's so internal, and our perception of the world is based on our own experience. The wine itself is all estate fruit from Hirsch Vineyard, a sampling of the different blocks at Hirsch Vineyard. For anyone who's not familiar, this is a super special place, and it's on the Sonoma coast. To explain where we are, and it's maybe more important than ever, yes, we're in California and we are in the Sonoma coast, but we are way, way up there on the Sonoma coast in Fort Ross Seaview, which is an appellation that the Hirsch family participated in actually pioneering and putting in the map. If you visit Sonoma Central proper, and you'd like to visit Hirsch Vineyards, I recommend it, but you should just understand it's way, way, way up there. This is not a skip, hop, and a jump. This is a journey. Part of what makes the vineyard special is its close proximity, not just to the Pacific Ocean, and it's very close. You get the oceanic influence there, but also to the San Andreas Fault. So it's in this precious little spot, which it turns out is the perfect place to farm Pinot Noir grapes. When David found the vineyard, he didn't know this. David wasn't a winemaker. He wasn't even a farmer. He literally found the property listed in the San Francisco Chronicle, if I'm not mistaken, and he went and checked it out. It was a cattle farm, and he fell in love with the property. And at some point, I think in the early '80s, his buddy said, "Hey, you should plant some Pinot Noir," and Hirsch Vineyards was born. This is not just any Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir vineyard. Many would contend that this is the single best site to grow Pinot Noir, not just in Sonoma, but maybe some would even say in the country. I know many sommeliers would join me in saying that this is kind of a benchmark for US and California Pinot Noir. Let's taste the wine. I want to preface that this wine arrived in February, which is not our normal deal. Usually if it had arrived in February, we might let it rest and offer it in March. Hello, train. We might have offered it in March if it arrived in February, but this is extra special, and we wanted to let it sleep just a little bit longer to get more rest and show in its proper form. And not even having put my nose in the glass yet, I can smell that this wine is so distinctly, intrinsically Hirsch. And the family, David and Jasmine, just have a way of shepherding Pinot Noir into bottle that leaves a stamp on the wine that is so unique and just so Hirsch. It's unmistakable. I'd like to think in any blind tasting I could pick out a Hirsch wine. The nose, just the aromas themselves are so spectacular. I can smell it from here. And it's reductive black cherry, a little bit of like a subtle matchstick, very mineral, red cherries as well. There's also a little like white mushroom component, graphite, cedar, just so earthy. I'm in love with Hirsch, but I am especially in love with this bottling. Just smelling this right now, I'm so grateful. On the palate, super fresh and more of that signature Hirsch cherry and black cherry, super concentrated, rounded. It's really affable, folks. This is really nice to drink right now. And these wines, it's important to point out the Hirsch family has only been making Pinot Noir since the early 2000s, even though they've been farming Pinot Noir for a very long time. And great producers like Lioko, William Sellium, Litterai, Kistler, and many other top-notch producers have purchased from this vineyard for a long time. But at some point in the early 2000s, David and Jasmine and the rest of the family decided it's time to make their own representation, and this is it. And they're killing it, folks. These wines get more and more polished and pretty every year. Man, that is just mouth-wateringly good. It's a medium minus tannin. It's surprisingly delicate, but concentrated. The fruit concentration and just that high-tone cherry. It's impressive, and it's freaking delicious. I can't wait to pair it up with definitely like some autumnal mushroom dishes. Mushrooms and pasta is the first thing that comes to mind. It's earthy, and those autumnal fall root vegetables I think will be perfect with this wine. I wanted to share an anecdote. As this whole pandemic was coming to fruition, I was lucky enough to be invited to have lunch with David Hirsch, Jasmine's legendary dad, in New York City. And this was sort of right before the pandemic started to show up in New York City. And we sat down to lunch, and I actually brought the first bottle of The Space Within to share, not to share, but to ask for an autographed bottle from David. And I pulled the bottle out of my backpack along with a golden Sharpie, and I said, David, would you be so kind to sign this for me? And he looks at the bottle, he looks at the front, and he flips it around, and he says, "Oh, this one snuck under my nose." So, and he was thrilled. He was really excited, and he thought the concept was really cool. I gotta say, David, just the coolest dude. But he was very pleasantly surprised to learn The Space Within. So I have to thank Jasmine again for hooking this up for us. She is the winemaker now at Hirsch Vineyard, and she pulled this little selection together for us. Again, 25 cases produced. And in closing, I have to say the farming at Hirsch Vineyard is really and truly, I think, what makes the site show its full colors. They are not just practicing organic, but practicing biodynamic. and this is something that they've been doing since 2014, and I think that's really something that's brought these wines to the next level. So, so much gratitude for this family. I never thought this would happen, and now here I am, sipping a taste of our own cuvee of Hirsch Vineyard. I hope you guys enjoy the wine. I think it's everything I'd hoped it to be. So cheers, and to the Hirsch family.